Hi my beautiful friends, it's Laciey Lovely here today, and today I have 10 things every girl should know before going to prom or a big dance like homecoming or whatever. So I have them written out on my little sheet, so let's get right into it. First thing is, do not stress about the little stuff, okay? So if your hair is screwed up, if your makeup's done, if you do your makeup and it looks wrong, don't stress out about it, because it's just one day. It's not like it's your wedding day. Kind of help make sure your makeup and hair doesn't look bad that day. Make sure you practice doing your hair and makeup before the actual day. Second piece of advice is, if you don't have a date, it is not a big deal, okay? I know movies and society really make it such a big deal that you don't have a date. And I don't think that's a big deal. If you want to go to prom and you're of age, at my prom, you can only go if you're a junior or senior unless you're asked. If you're a junior or a senior and no one's asked you, go, just go by yourself or go with a group of friends, or just do whatever makes you happy, you know. If there's a boy who you want to go with and you're like, oh, I need to drop subtle hints so that he goes with me, don't drop those subtle hints, because he will not get them and he won't ask you to prom. The biggest thing that you need to do is ask him yourself. And I know that is very daunting and very scary, but if you want to go with him, go with him. Don't let him not asking you, deprive you from going. Just ask him, and what's the worst he's going to say? No. He says no, then go by yourself. Go with your friends. It's not a big deal. Number 3 is, if you go by yourself, it is not a big deal, okay? Do not think that you know, like I said, you don't have to go with a boy. You don't have to go with a group. Although it is funner with a group of people, you don't have to go with a group of people. I know my junior year, I was supposed to go with my friend. My friend was supposed to come over to my house beforehand. We were supposed to get ready together and then take pictures and whatnot. And she ended up not going, not coming to my house. And so I had to go by myself. And yeah, it's sucky. You can get in this pessimistic view and be like, oh, feel sorry for myself. I'm such a loser. I have to go by myself. And you need to not be in that pessimistic zone, because who cares if you go by yourself? No one's gonna be there at the prom saying oh, look at that girl, she all went by herself. No one's gonna be doing that. They're thinking about themselves, just like you're thinking about yourself being such a loser because you're going by yourself. Everyone else is thinking something very about themselves, whether they're thinking, oh, my dress isn't pretty enough, or oh, my day is so hot. Everyone's thinking about themselves, so they don't have enough time to worry about you going by yourself. And my junior year, I had a lot of optimism going into prom, and so I went and I was even though I'm going by myself, I'm going to have an awesome time. It doesn't matter that I'm by myself, because I can do this by myself. So I went and had a great time even though I was by myself. Number 4, your friends are going to ditch you. That is plain and simple. So if you do end up going in a group, your friends will ditch you. And I learned this the hard way during homecoming of my senior year. I went with this big group of girls, and like getting ready and taking pictures and all that was so much fun. And then we went to homecoming, and I found myself by myself, and like all of these girls, they did not mean to leave me by myself. They all had dates, or they were hanging out with their other friends or whatever, but I found myself by myself. So that's just the reality of it. Is your friends are probably going to ditch you. Even if you go with just like one other friend, that one other friend probably has one other friend that's there, or multiple friends that are there, so they want to hang out with these multiple friends, and that is okay. Now, number 5 is prom is not the end all say all. It is just like, what I'm trying to say here is, it is not your wedding night. It is not like this big deal. Like, people make it so overblown. And it is just a school dance. Like, that's all it is. It just keep in mind, it is not your wedding. So don't make it so overblown that it's like your wedding, because it is not your wedding. All right. Number 6, you are only so you are only in high school for so long, and I know when you're in high school, because I'm currently still in high school, I know it feels so overwhelming and so daunting, and it feels like forever, but the reality of the situation is you were only in high school for 4 years of your life. That's it. So you have 4 chances to go to homecoming and 2 chances to go to prom. And you will never, likelihood is you will never, ever have an opportunity to go to prom again or homecoming again. So just go. Stop being so lame and being like, well, prom is not, like, it's so lame, like, blah, blah, blah. And, like, yeah, it's lame, but it's fun because you're teenagers and it's high school. It's just something childish and fun to go to. Just go. Okay? Stop making excuses not to go. And if you get the opportunity to go your freshman or sophomore year, go those years too. Because, like I said, your time is running out. And you're going to miss it when you're older. Just go. That's all I'm saying, is just go. Alright. Number 7 is, do not blow your whole budget on prom. Prom is important, but it doesn't have to be so dang expensive. Like, everyone thinks, I have to buy like a $300 or more prom dress. I have to rent a limo. I have to go to the most expensive dinner. You do not have to do any of those things. My prom dress that I bought this year, also you can reuse prom dresses. You do not have to buy a new one every time. And I know everyone thinks that, but you don't. Because if you want to wear one from last year, wear it. No one will care and no one will notice. But my prom dress that I bought this year was originally $250, which is a lot. But it was on the 50% off rack, plus I had $20 coupon. So, like, you don't have to spend a whole bunch of money on it. You can get it discounted. You can borrow a dress from a friend. You can do all these things that will lower the price. Shoes, just reuse old shoes. And you don't, just reuse old shoes. Like purses, just reuse old clutches. Limo, you do not need a limo. Let's just get that straight. Because, it's fun. But, if you can't afford one, don't get one because like no one is judging you on if you have a limo or not. If you pull up to the place where prom, everyone is in prom. They're not focusing on you pulling up. So it's not like you're making a huge grand entrance. But if you can afford it, get it. I would recommend not getting it because it's a waste of money. And out to dinner, you could literally go to Chili's or wherever, Wendy's. I went to Wendy's for homecoming and it was fun and it wasn't a big deal. Just like, it doesn't even matter like that if you go to an expensive place or not. You don't even have to go out to dinner. You know what would be fun? If everyone came over to your house and you made dinner. Like, obviously not in your dresses, but you made dinner and ate it together. That would be the cheapest route to go. Number 8. Don't wear heels if you don't like heels. Like me, I know when I was a freshman and sophomore, I wore heels because my friend wore heels, and I felt like if I didn't wear heels, then I'd be the oddball out. And I regret wearing heels so much that I stopped wearing it after then. Because it's like you go to homecoming or prom and then you wear it for 10 minutes and then you take the shoes off. And then you walk around floor that is disgusting with your bare foot, and then every other girl's barefoot who decided to wear heels too. It's disgusting. So just don't do it. Number 9. Now this one is a big, big one, especially for me. And you may disagree with me, but it's just my opinion. Just remember that. Don't get your hair done by a professional. And what I mean by professional is someone who like cuts or dyes hair for a living, because they don't know what they're doing. Like, you'll show them a picture and then they just don't, like, they know they are good at what they do, and what they do is cut and dye hair. They don't style hair for a living. They cut and dye hair. If you find someone who styles hair for a living, go to that person. But otherwise, don't get your hair done professionally, because you will regret it and you will come home and have a meltdown and then have to fix your hair. I made that mistake once and it was in the 8th grade and it looks really bad. Alright, and now we are at number 10. And this one I think is the most important one, and that's why I saved it for last. So number 10 is make sure you take pictures with your parents. That's it. And the reason why that is so important is because in 10 years from now, all those friends you have won't be your friends. That boy you're dating, you more than likely you will not have married him. I mean, yeah, it's fun to take pictures with your friends and with your boyfriend, with your date, but the most important people that you need to take pictures with is your mom and dad, because 20 years down the road, they're still going to be your mom and dad. And I learned this the hard way. Well, I guess it wasn't the hard way, but okay, so my junior year of prom, I went by myself, like I said. But I am so grateful that I went to my junior year of prom alone, because if I hadn't, I wouldn't have had the pictures I had with my dad and my mom, and I wouldn't have had any pictures with special events with my dad, because you just forget about stuff like that. Every single homecoming I've ever gone to, I never took a picture with my mom or my dad. Every prom except for last year's prom, I didn't take a picture with my mom or my dad. So it's little things like that that you forget to do, and then when they're gone, those are the only things you can hold on to is pictures. So you need to take pictures with your mom and your dad. That's the biggest thing. So yeah, those are 10 things you need to know before going to prom. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below for more awesome videos like this. Thank you guys. Bye!